Did you know that Canada's history dates back over 12,000 years? But what was happening here before it was even called Canada? Long before European explorers set foot on this land, diverse indigenous tribes thrived across what is now known as Canada. They spoke hundreds of different languages and lived in harmony with the vast, untamed landscapes. From the dense forests of the east to the rocky shores of the west, these tribes forged deep connections with nature, developing rich traditions and sustainable ways of life. This rich tapestry of native cultures set the stage for what was to come. Fast forward to the late 15th century as European sails appear on the horizon. Driven by the allure of new lands and the promise of vast resources, explorers like John Cabot and Jacques Cartier embarked on perilous voyages across the North Atlantic. In 1497, Cabot, under the Commission of England, reached what is now known as Newfoundland, claiming it for the English crown. Not long after, Jacques Cartier sailed under the French flag, venturing deeper into the continent along the St. Lawrence River, establishing early contact with indigenous peoples and mapping significant portions of what would become Eastern Canada. These daring journeys marked the beginnings of European interest in the region. With these explorers, the foundation of colonial Canada was laid, forever changing the destiny of this vast land. The plot thickens as European powers vie for control over the New World. In the 17th and 18th centuries, the vast and rich lands of what is now Canada became the stage for a fierce rivalry between two colonial giants, France and Britain. The French were the first to establish a significant foothold, founding Quebec City in 1608 as the heart of New France. This burgeoning colony expanded, its fur traders and Jesuit missionaries pushing deep into the North American continent, weaving a network of alliances with indigenous peoples. But the British had their eyes on these lucrative territories too. Tensions escalated into armed conflicts, culminating in the pivotal Battle of the Plains of Abraham in 1759. On the outskirts of Quebec City, British forces, led by General James Wolfe, clashed dramatically with the French under General Montcalm. This brief but bloody encounter tipped the scales. Though both commanding generals perished, the British emerged victorious, marking a turning point in the colonial contest. The outcome of these conflicts set a new course for Canada, one that would lead to British dominance in the region. From the ashes of conflict, a new country emerges. The year 1867 marked a monumental chapter in North American history with the Confederation of Canada. This pivotal event was not just about uniting provinces, it was about forging a distinct identity. At the heart of this transformation was Sir John A. Macdonald, a man whose vision was instrumental in the creation of a federated Canada. His leadership, along with other key figures, sculpted a nation from the diverse British colonies scattered across vast territories. However, the birth of this new nation was not without its trials. Among the most daunting challenges was the construction of the National Railway. This colossal project was envisioned as a binding force, a steel ribbon to connect the sprawling lands from east to west. It symbolized unity, but also brought to light the immense logistical and financial hurdles the young nation had to overcome. This marked the true beginning of Canada as a self-governing entity, stepping boldly into the future. Canada today is known for its diversity and multiculturalism, but how did we get here? The story of Canada's cultural mosaic begins with the waves of immigration that have swept through the nation over the centuries. From the early French and British settlers to the influx of Europeans, Asians, and more recently, individuals from the Middle East and Africa, each group has contributed unique threads to the national tapestry. As these diverse populations settled, Canada began to shape policies that not only recognized but celebrated this diversity. The official policy of multiculturalism, adopted in 1971, was a pioneering move, making Canada the first country in the world to adopt multiculturalism as an official policy. This policy not only acknowledged the existence of multiple cultures within the country, but also promoted the preservation and appreciation of these cultures. In the global arena, Canada's commitment to diversity and inclusion has helped forge its identity as a compassionate and progressive country. This stance has not been without its challenges, including struggles over language rights, religious freedoms, and the integration of newcomers. Yet the nation has continually strived to uphold the values of respect and equality. From its ancient indigenous roots to its colonial past, Canada has grown into a vibrant tapestry of cultures, continually evolving and adapting through the centuries. As we traverse through Canada's vast historical landscape, what have we learned? We've seen the deep roots of indigenous cultures flourishing long before European footsteps echoed through the forests. We've sailed with intrepid explorers, mapping uncharted waters and weaving paths of contact and exchange. Through fierce colonial conflicts and the forging of a federation, Canada emerged as a sovereign nation. Today, it stands as a vibrant mosaic, enriched by the threads of countless narratives from around the globe. Every chapter of Canada's history contributes to the understanding of this unique country, shaping a nation celebrated for its resilience and diversity.